Hi, my name is Kevin Atwater.
And I'm Philip Weinrobe.
And today we are going to be going through the mixes of Achilles, which you mix.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's a beautiful record. They're beautiful songs, beautiful production from Tom, Hazy Eyes.
Hazy Eyes.
And we're going to open up the sessions and peek around under the hood.
And see the transformations that the songs took because of you. So grateful to have you here.
Thanks, Kevin. Honored to be here. Threat.
Wait, I'm already so curious about that purple.
Yeah, I was just looking at this when we opened up. It's called Full Mix Drum.
What does that mean?
Drum is this pedal over here, this guy, which is...
Drum.
And, probably I would have gotten that pedal, that day.
Oh,
And I was like, I wonder what this pedal does. Maybe I'll put the whole song through it. So this is me...
It just feels like a little
it's cool,
dreamy
right?
warp.
It's a reverb pedal with this frequency and amplitude modulation post the reverb, so that's what gives it that kind of dreamy wobbly
it
thing. It
feels like it's gonna fall apart.
The whole mix is going there flat, and so what I did was I then just mixed it in, so it's just part of the overall texture.
It's so crazy when I just heard that isolated, now I can hear it.
But it's pretty subtle. It's really quiet.
Yeah, it's just that makes sense. This little distortion.
It made sense because of I feel like maybe this made me think of it, all these broken, glitchy noise sounds.
I'm pretty sure when we sent you this one too, you sent a text back to me and Tom, and you were like, "There's a bunch of tape recording sounds in the back. Did you mean to send those?" And we were like, "Yeah." We wanted to sound weird.
Yeah, and then I ended up. Speaking of those sounds, this is my automation of all of those. So then,
what is happening here?
This is just me. That's just volume. So that's me turning it up and down. I'm turning it up and just kind of riding the volume of that noise.
Yeah.
Broke the sharp part off your pen and scratched my
It's so cool to see a visual.
I had a lot of fun.
Tension is a good word for this song.
Yeah.
This song is a lot of because the subject matter of it is so sort of complicated and scary.
It's a very scary song.
It's a scary intro
Yeah.
to the record.
Oh yeah. So then I kind of.
It's my cat's meow. Oh God, yeah. It's so cool that it just ramps up and then leaves you there.
Yeah, and that was also, again, I was just trying to figure out how do we make it feel more musical, and that intense kind of build hard chop felt now it's totally, again, just responding to the end of the song.
It's interesting seeing it visually here too, because it almost sums up the tension of the whole record in a weird way. The whole album kind of goes like this. It has a dip where it's a little lighter, and then it escalates again at the end. So it's interesting having this be the intro, and also my brain is already being yes, and what a summary.
Yeah, this track, I left so much of the vibe that really came in from you guys just in there, and kind of leaned into the just this drum level. And
the drum really makes it. Thank you, drum.
Thank you, drum. I really stuck with what you guys sent for a lot of this song. On other songs, I went much harder. Yeah.
There's so much weird stuff. There's There's all my clarinet, 10 clarinet.
I love the
clarinets.
clarinets.
And that sound, I think, is in Jamie's Daydreams too, actually. That,
really? Oh, cool. We'll go find it over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sounds came in so cool on this one.
Yeah, Tom has a real knack for just parsing through all these libraries of weird sounds. He just knows how to find he'll like play something for me, and I'm like, that can't fit in. And he's like, give me a sec.
Nice. Hell yeah, Tom.
Which is so cool. I love weird sound.
Well, should we open up another song?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do Jamie's Daydreams. You can tell that I did musical theater song.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of
ups and downs and sort of different parts coming in. I really wanted like lots of melodies at the end. Do you know the musical Spring Awakening?
No.
Incredible, like punk rock folk musical about a bunch of teenagers in Germany in the 1800s, like discovering sex.
Nice.
But like with a score, they like pull out microphones on stage and start singing. Like it's like very break the fourth wall singing. Hugely inspirational to me subconsciously in my music, and like in this song specifically. I just very like tough to figure out even when I was writing it. I wasn't sure. It's so dramatic. And I know we did a lot with the panning of it was what brought it together, I think. With the vocals too. Because even when Tom and I were making it, I was like, this song will not come together until the mix. Like I will not know what it is supposed to be until Philip has it in his hands. It's so like you're starting a car and then you're stopping the car and then you're starting the car and then you're stopping the car. And like it is just, it's building in the same way that your little graph did earlier. It's like this, and every time it gets a little higher.
Yeah, I remember the arrangement on this one is so in depth with how the guitars coming in and out, switching around.
Tell me again. Tell me the way it takes you, how your skin is bruising away. I've wanted for ages.
Yeah, we did a thing. Well, the vocals are like kind of like just a little off center, so it's like.
Tell me again.
They're like
Tell me the way it takes you, how your skin is.
I actually made all the vocals mono at the end. So it goes from being super stereo to being. They're all dead center.
Oh, okay. Which is then another part comes in right here, which I think goes one other direction.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool one. Okay.
And then another one comes in.
That's sick. Yeah, I guess musical theater reminds me of a stage.
Yeah.
Like
it's very theatrical.
Yeah, you like can like really pinpoint the group of people singing instead of like modern pop production, which is much more like everything around you all the time.
We sent it to you. I'm pretty sure all the vocals were. Everything was just in.
Everything was in the center, yeah. And I don't think you had done that. I think I had made that structure.
You did. I remember you sent a version with all the pans happening, and I was like, oh, it's theater.
Yeah, and then I think we worked together on like refining exactly how that worked. I think, and then we like nailed it to that. Yeah. But yeah, that's a really cool little move that happened in the song. I think really, especially in headphones, is like so cool to listen to and follow that kind of. All those cool overlapping melodies become counterpoint, essentially. I also like that this one had like a one mic drum set. Like I think this is the only mic I have.
Yeah.
That's my kind of drum recording. Oh, this was Sean. I sent
yes,
Sean to you.
Okay.
This is my boy Sean, who I work with all the time.
By the way, Sean sent one thing over, and I was like, "This is so perfect." It was like, if you need something else, just let me know. I was like, I don't need anything else. Shout out Sean.
Shout out Sean Mullins, the great Sean Mullins. Live drums.
With a Z. That is kind of giving Tom. Like
Tom definitely
Tom would have
labeled
wrote
that.
drums with a Z. I think Jailer is the next song.
My boy, covered in red, we were flushed in fluorescence, the backseat of bed.
Okay, so there's the delay, there's the reverb, and then there's just an EQ. It's like this. It's this
EQ,
big tube stereo EQ
Whoa.
that I ran in mid-side, which is kind of fun. Which is like,
What does that mean?
It means I like set instead of running it left right, I ran it middle and sides, which is like a fun processing way to do things.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I was able to do that by using this plugin on either side to like split the signal. Yeah, and just allowed me to like, because I wanted to get like, sounds like I wanted to get some like nice mid-range kind of like clarity and graininess out of the vocal. So running it with this tube EQ
You helped them so
was
much.
really nice. And then so this is a throw that's going to a pitch shifter that's up an octave and then into a reverb. Let's see what that sounds like.
make it a joke in the morning.
Oh, it's that little, it's the thing that carries in. Right.
Yeah, and then I do one here too.
Alone in the morning.
Which just, so nice.
It's subtle, but just makes a little extension.
Alone in the morning.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's what that is.
And that was a huge thing too, hearing that next back. I was like, oh, what a beautiful
That's essentially a new part.
No,
like
it is
it's
a new
essentially
part.
a BV going ooh up an octave from the last note of the vocal. Yeah, this was a fun one to mix. Looks like I did some more like and then
all the string parts.
The string parts are fantastic. Those
Yeems,
those
done by
I
Yeems.
those I barely touched. I just added a little reverb. They sounded so good. All the strings kind of sounding so good. So at that part in the cellos, okay, so here's another thing that like what we're talking about, like the cellos felt like they were like really dense and like it was hard to get the vocals to like cut over them.
Yeah.
So this is me basically like side chaining the cellos against your vocal. That's what you're seeing there is the vocal.
Oh, that's what I'm singing.
Yeah.
Like that, it's lowering it based on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all that I have.
And that's just another way to just like again, just like give space. So let the cellos kind of be.
That kind of sounded so pretty, just the cellos in my voice.
Well, I love that. Yeah.
Now all that I see is all that I have. When you think of me.
And I love that when you take a big breath, it like pushes the cellos down.
It moves it with them.
It's like it
My
makes that
breaths are
breath
loud.
so. I love loud breaths, and I
Me
love that
too.
it's like emphasize the breath in the mix.
And
It's
I
really
pushed, because it's one phrase. The whole thing is one phrase.
Yeah.
It should feel like I'm there in your ear,
It's really
singing it to you.
the breaths are like
It's an intimate song too. You should hear the breaths. Breathing is intimate.
there's often more emotion in the breathing than in the singing. I find in basically all music, and it's so important to honor that.
The moment before, just in general, is so important too. Like in a song where you know something is about to hit, and you hear the singer go like, everything escalates even before it all drops. It like
Totally.
adds tension.
And also,
Word of
like
the day.
every breath is different, and like the amount of air the singer takes in also cues you to know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can go on for days about the theories of breath. Yeah, this was a fun one. A lot of cool little things in this. I love those little poofs.
Yeah, little lush instrumentation moments.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's evolve. I think The Cage is next.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, which this one I have some questions for you.
Okay.
I've had questions for you every song.
One day there's a cage and then there
I think that's
isn't.
actually the piano.
Did it sound like this when
No,
we sent it to you? Though?
no,
That's the thing.
no.
Yeah.
This is what your piano sounded like. It sounded
Okay,
like
yeah,
a
it's
normal
more
piano.
like a piano.
But I
What
changed
did
it
you
into
do?
this.
Yes. You made it sound more like, to me, my untrained ear, more like an organ, or maybe just like a drone.
Yeah, well, I'm pulling the attack way down. It's all about the sustain.
It's so scary.
Yeah. And then I left this other piano
And I played that.
sounding much more pianoistic.
I was like, because I remember sitting there and playing this little thing.
There's your part. Just sounds like a piano.
Yeah.
And then I started by adding, well, who knows where I started, but then I add this delay.
So
and then
pretty. At the end of the day, it's a scary song.
yeah, then I blew it way out with more wobble, more distortion. And so
Once I'm feeling more.
everything got
It's
like
so like Radiohead-y.
yes, very much.
Which
Everything
is,
got really blown out on this one. That one also, I think. got
you must have done
transformed.
something.
Oh,
Or
actually,
Jeremy might have.
that came in actually sounding fairly similar to that.
This is from Jeremy Zucker.
Oh, okay. I don't know Jeremy.
He did a few of the guitars on here.
Yeah, it came in mono, and I made it just jump out and become this kind of even more distorted stereo thing.
Yeah, you just ramped it all up.
Yeah, I just made it more. But yeah, it came in fuzzy, and I was like, I'll take that cue.
I think when Tom had done it, it was way less fuzzy, and Jeremy Zucker put down that guitar.
That seems to have informed.
It just kept ramping it up.
Yeah. So that's going the whole song.
And what is that?
So that
like I'm like singing through Jello.
That's the H3000, the Eventide H3000, which is there. It's this guy. And I think that sounds like a patch called Buenos Notches, but instead of the notch modulation being a LFO, which is the default setting on that, the notch modulation is an envelope follower of your vocal. Because I hear that like kind of like modulation following the dynamics of your vocal.
I remember you called it a prison. One day there's a cage.
Yeah, see, without it, it's very dry.
Got me so drunk that I didn't feel 16 again.
Yeah.
Just adds a little bit of like extra dimensionality and
without just being like a plain old reverb.
Yeah, and also without just being like, oh, there's an effect on the vocal, which is like anyone can throw an effect on a vocal. That's boring.
This is way more fun.
Once you're free, then you're mine. Once you're free, then you're mine. Once you're free, then you're mine.
This is the one that I get the most, other musicians reaching out and being like, this is so cool, how did you do this?
Oh,
like,
sick.
You're gonna have to talk to Philip.
Yeah, well, now you know.
Yeah, it's so cool.
A lot of different distortions and compressions in different places, and yeah, really fun to make this one come alive.
Just everybody throwing all their ideas out. And
yeah.
I love just that there's never any shame. We're all just trying crazy things. And
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Open
Let's
another?
move on, yeah. I think Lonely Gift is the one that's after this one.
When you're in my bed, I can hear your heart for what it is. It's such a lonely gift.
This one too, just so specific with the panning and the mixing. That end section just brought it all.
I love this song.
Yeah, I love this one too. There's a little hidden thing in this too that you've kept in the mix, and when we sent it, I wasn't sure if you were going to keep it.
What is it?
I say like, come on, or something. It's so quiet.
And I panned it hard left.
Yeah. Which was me talking to my cat.
I love that kind of shit. Like, I think that's like my favorite stuff. And that's why I panned it hard left, because if I left that in the center, it wouldn't have been as noticeable. It's still pretty quiet.
It's so quiet.
But you definitely hear it. It sounds like a little someone whispering in your ear. I love it.
Because also it's like an invitation to me. Like, it's like an invitation to just like, for a song about like trying to reach someone who's unreachable, who is treating you like garbage. It's like a little like giving permission to just like, we're going to move on from this person, like, come on. And then the instruments take you somewhere else. Because the end of the song is like a resignation.
Yeah, they're like the vehicle that picks you up and takes you away from this like horrible situation.
Exactly. And then the ending is like a realization, just like, or resignation more specifically, of being like, this will not work, and that's okay. But I'm so happy you kept it.
Oh, fuck yeah. And tried to make it like highlighted a little bit.
Yeem sent more strings here for sure.
Sounds like the drum. Sounds like I was into the drum again from the first track.
Thank you, drum.
So this is me
again, another
sending the whole strings mix into the drum, and then I made the drum stereo somehow. Yeah, it's subtle.
Oh wait. I I think we made this with my voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a
correct.
voice. That's a voice that you've then turned into a sample, and then you're
We did that.
repitching it.
I have a video of us doing that somewhere. Clue what that is. This is directly influenced by Womb by Adrian Linker.
Oh, nice.
There's a piano part that comes in that song, the latter half, and I wanted to make my own version of that. So this is, I did this at the piano, just going the two parts. I couldn't record them at the same time. I'm not
Oh no,
able.
that would be you have to be a good piano player.
Yeah, and I'm not. So we had to do two separate ones, but. Whoa.
It's that 80s reverb again. It's really like soft
Ethereal.
zone.
And that's so cool again.
I could just listen to this all day.
What exactly is happening here?
That's a reverb with like the reverb super short and then this modulation after it.
It just sounds like
I know, that's what
I turned on like an old like recording of like an orchestra playing, like an old like Carnegie Hall recording, badly recorded on like a really old phone or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the modulation just really makes it sound like it's deteriorated.
Yeah, it was recorded on my like BlackBerry
Yeah.
in a cool way.
Call of Duty! You guys sent me this layer called COD, stands for Call of Duty,
Correct.
acoustic washed out layer.
I don't know
And
what that is
it
at all.
sounded like this.
No
some
recollection
reverb.
of- This is just like
Tom
another
must have
layer.
put it in a reverb, yeah, and it was going like
The whole song.
kind of, and so I used. My first thought was that I just don't need it
Yeah.
like all the time, but it was cool to have, and so I used it to like do some like additional arranging. So like for example here, I made a little like kind of rising thing that cuts off. So yeah, we can hear that.
Swell. Oh yeah.
I'm washing my hands.
Oh, that's so cool.
I feel
Yeah, and it's just
So much more effective than just having something play the whole time. No.
in general, I'm trying to use like what you give me, like because I'm a I like her. Like first, I have the idea, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was a swell there? And then I'm like, well, what do we got? What can I build that out of? And this was an easy choice.
they put up a painting of my grandma.
It's so crazy how when you play it, my ear can now hear
Now
it.
you hear it.
It felt good to see it. We'll cook a recipe
actually
this holiday season.
Doing quite a lot of work
Yeah.
for us. Yeah. And I like that it's not here. I don't think we needed it.
Hair. 3 roommates in Washington.
go, Sean.
Heights.
Yeah, Sean eating on the
They're
drums.
fast asleep.
Yeah, let's hear
I'm washing my hands. I feel dirty, uncapped and unclean.
So when I hear a vocal like this, that's so also like first person personal, like really I'm washing my hands. It just sometimes that feels a little awkward to me if there's two voices singing that line because
two people wouldn't be speaking like
it doesn't
that.
make any sense. It's so lyrical dependent.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that verse, I was just like, man, I really want to establish like a singular narrator on this. And the vocals, amazing. And I just went with vocal lead 1. I don't know, maybe lead 2 was better.
No, I'm pretty sure, because usually what ends up happening with the doubles is I spend so much time getting the first take perfect and like comping
Then
it
the double.
perfectly, and then the double is one take later that I don't even care about.
We don't like talk about this. Like, I'm not like, hey guys, is it okay if I like do this? I like purposefully don't even want you to think about it. I just want to send it to you and then have you listen and like, maybe you don't even notice. Maybe you're just like, that sounds great. And then like a day later, you're like, oh wait, wasn't there a double vocal? And so like, it's so nice, I think, not to also be like told what's happening.
Yeah.
Because then you like hear it differently.
Fake one. I'm washing my hair. 3 roommates in Washington Heights. They're fast asleep in the
So
night. and
effectively
it's
simple,
late.
not
I try
simple,
not
but
to
just
wake them.
it's all it needs.
Tell them
He's very good at the drums.
Like, I don't want to say simple to make it seem like it's something that's easy, because it's just so precise.
What's the next song on the record? Kevin?
You think it is Family Party.
They circle up for game while I gaze in from the window by the stairs.
This, I know we sent you crazy clarinet parts in this ending. Because I just went wild. And you thankfully must have taken some of them.
I think I used
Or
them.
did you keep them all?
I kept them, but it was just about leveling them. And
Can you play the clarinets?
yeah,
by
let's just listen to
themselves?
the clarinets.
Crazy.
I kept everything. All 27 clarinets.
I don't know why I did that. I remember doing that one.
Amazing.
Yeah, I remember just I recorded those at my desk with like a terrible microphone.
Oh,
and
they
I
sound
just sat there
great,
for
though.
hours.
I kept them really subtle in the mix.
Which is good. That's where they needed to be.
So that way they could like kind of all be there and be like this cloud of
Cloud of clarinet.
Cloud of clarinets. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Right, and you can hear that like
The
tone, the dissonant tone.
Yeah.
On Tom's piano does that little like.
and that helps cover it up.
Oh, thank you. That was so nice. It's just like little things like that like make me laugh. Where I'm like, yeah, it needed a jingle bell. It's a holiday song to me about feeling like.
Circle up for game while I gaze in from the
I mean, it's perfect. It's so
just, like,
great.
hidden a little wink.
It's so great. I
About it.
love it. Yeah, great. This song is so cool. Anyway, what's the line about circling up for prayer?
They circle up to prayer while I gaze in from the window by the stairs.
Yeah, that's so like like everyone is doing this thing, but you're outside. I think you're outside of that prayer circle. So like you can really feel that like emotional tension in the room.
Yeah.
What's next on the
What is
record?
next?
What's after
It's
Family
either
Party?
Origami Roses or Fairy Beer. I think it's Origami Roses.
Let's go there.
And it is, by the way. When I said that, it is.
Hell fucking yeah.
He would leave me little origami roses
I know you did
blooming
something.
at our door.
I remember the chorus came together in the mix to me. Like, whatever you did, I think the specific panning, and I think you
there's
took
some
out maybe the double of the lead
the
or
double.
something,
So
or
I
you lowered it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right on it. That's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
So basically, what I did was this is a kind of chorus that I love, by the way, because it like goes inwards. What I wanted to do was like get more intense and like focused at the chorus.
Yeah.
So to do that, instead of like making it bigger and wider, I wanted to like come inward.
It
So
goes like this.
yeah, so we go from this lead vocal sound that's
Jordan, Job to Isaac to Elijah.
like half wide, doubled,
Jordan, Job to Isaac to Elijah.
to this sound, which is mono. So we come in on the lead vocal, and instead of the double being equal weight, which is how it is in the verses, it changes weight. So now we're going to be more singular, although not 100%.
He would leave me little
Which to me
origami.
is just more intense.
Yeah.
And especially with this like subject matter of like this horribly disturbing origami that this guy is leaving for you. And then we let the BVs that are going to come in, they take the wide position. We have this like little filter on those.
Wow.
And then we open up full voice.
Roses
I
blooming at our door.
love that you did that.
And then again,
It goes singular
Finn.
again.
Little origami roses blooming at our door. I'd carry them like sleeping babies to my room and keep them quiet in my drawer.
it's just like another level of arrangement that we can do to just like essentially like make the phrase more stark. You know, the composition has that structure in it. You know, you already were leaning there, and I just like pushed it further in that like black and white to Technicolor is, you know, very Wizard of Oz.
Where's that weird? There's like a fiddle. So much of the outro is just like the coolest sounds.
Wow, that's actually a huge part of the mix.
It's so crazy.
So sick.
Yeah, we were looking. I think like we were looking through like Riverdance samples.
Fuck
And I was
yeah.
like, throw it in for fun, and then we just liked it.
Okay, let's talk about Fairy Beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, Fairy Beer is the first song you sent me.
Yeah, this was the first single.
I wish we
That's
were married.
Pretty sure that's a boat sound. I love what you kept though. It's so perfect.
Oh,
What
yeah,
is that?
you had another phrase here.
Didn't need to come in there at all.
Yeah, so I just kind of waited.
Because you already have that other sound that just
Totally.
came in.
I wish
So then it says just a transitional phrase, which I think it almost makes it more impactful than happening twice. And again, the theme recurring here, like giving this sound an
Can you play that
opportunity to
sound?
have its own.
That I think initially was a foghorn.
This might have been the
or
foghorn,
something.
too.
Yeah, and we just pitched it.
Yeah, and that's just exactly
Yeah.
as you sent it to me. Yeah, you had so many cool little
No idea what that
tones
is.
in here. Yeah, they're all.
I think this was this.
more fairy.
It was a different fairy sound that we pitched
Yeah.
a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's sick.
Which is like, I don't know, sometimes it's fun to just let the name of the song inform the musical choices.
Totally,
I'm like,
but you did it in a
fun.
way where it's very subtle and really cool.
it's really impressive how there's all these little things going on, but the song just sounds so spare. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a delicate balance, I think, because it sounds more empty than some of the other songs, but secretly there are all these little things that are contributing to
Yeah.
what you would consider emptiness, but are actually filled with like white noise-ish sound. Not
Yeah.
white noise, but like, you know, that sound.
And you had sent me a bunch of noise sounds, and I deleted
Of course
them.
we did. Let's do Huntley.
their weekend. I'm usually flawless at hiding my feelings, but I would speak for him and I'd make him say nice things.
That vocal choice was the biggest thing I remember when you just,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
doing that.
yeah.
I can't even imagine the song any other way now.
Yeah, I love starting without the double. This is so.
Is that guitar?
That was my first idea. That didn't make it in.
Wait, can I hear what it would sound like? This bomb.
Flawless at hiding my feelings,
That's
unless
cool.
you're my mom or my
That
It
didn't
just
even.
wouldn't have been.
That
the
didn't
right
even make it to
choice,
you.
yeah.
and I'd make him say nice things.
Oh, then you can let it go. It does. It feels like holding your breath. And then letting it
Yeah,
out.
exactly. So this was one where like, yeah, there's 20 saxophone tracks. William Brandt on the saxophone.
Yeah. Shout out William Brandt. Oh.
Yeah, trying to figure out what those should sound like was kind of a fun challenge.
Yeah, that was the last thing that was added to this song before it saw
Yeah.
you.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like, it needs to sound like my dog at the end. Like, I was like, it should sound like this song is so
Prancing around.
sad. And I was like, It needs like a moment of levity at the end. Like if I was to say those nice things and I was to hear those nice things, what would it sound like?
Mm-hmm. I put it in this like room. Like I want it to feel like very casual. I think the sax tones that you sent were like very direct, like very close mic'd.
Yeah.
And so I pushed them way back using like a little room. They're away.
Different room. It's nice.
Thanks, Huntley.
Thanks, Huntley. Shout out, Golden Retriever.
Love you, Huntley. Thank you for your life, and also thank you for the song, Huntley.
Yes. We only have one more.
What is it? Achilles?
Achilles.
Time. Did I edit the time on this song? Oh,
yes.
I did, and then you told me to put it
and
back.
I said, my
Oh,
ears
yeah.
unfortunately need
Oh
that
yeah,
extra
because I
measure.
really wanted this measure gone.
You wanted to cut something in the interlude.
right here, right?
Yep. Oh wait. I think you brought it in there. I think you reduced it to 3.
All faces.
But I was crazy and I was like, I need 4.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and sometimes me looking directly at the camera, and sometimes you do something and then you change it back.
yeah. This one's a wild one. This one's
wild.
Let's hear the.
It's sort of like that moment of I wanted like this huge moment of ecstasy or anger, whatever emotion you want to apply to it at the end, because so much of this record is so like in your ear, so close and like sad and like not even sad, just like devastating for various reasons about love or about like life and uncertainty. And I was like, it's time to explode.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Who did the drums on this one?
I think Tom did the drums.
All the places
And the bass.
that your hands are shaking, tracing through.
Look, they sound like a choir.
Oh yeah, through some H3000 chorus.
God, I remember trying to figure out what those harmonies should be.
Those harmonies
like,
you really nailed them.
What notes are available?
I don't wanna fight,
Oh yeah, of course.
and I don't wanna fight, and I don't wanna fight.
Punch.
Yeah.
Percussion coming in.
I'm basically unmuting little clips to get some hi-hats.
And you're smaller every time you finish beating up and on.
Yeah, this song came
This
out
outro has some
amazing.
crazy stuff in the end.
Oh yeah, we dropped the guitar there. What's happening in the outro of this song?
Oh, just me screaming.
And I don't wanna fight.
I don't want to fight. I want to hear those isolated.
And I don't wanna fight.
So some of that is me.
And I don't wanna fight.
The sung one is me, obviously.
And I don't wanna fight.
Oh, no. Do you remember that? One, that's Jake Minch, my friend, who's another songwriter, artist.
Oh, yeah.
Who came in to like scream with me because that was also the day before I had a show, and I was like, I don't want to be doing all these yells by myself. I need someone else there. So I was like, can you come in and yell? Also, those pants. Do you remember the version you sent me with the panting turned all the way
Like
to 1,000?
Yeah, which was an accident.
Which I was listening to it on my speaker, turned all the way up, and my roommate was in her room. Like, I was playing it, and I was like, oh, and my roommate was texting me, are you okay? And I was like, it's okay. Well, those, actually Tom played, but I think I played these one. Oh, yes, and then you messed
And
it
I
up.
add some tremolo.
Oh, and then you did something.
I think that's your reverse.
Is it?
I don't think I did that.
I
Or
mean,
Tom, maybe Tom
must be
did
Tom.
it.
It was not me.
Give it up to Tom.
Give it up to Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
And that's Achilles, baby.
Achilles, what a cool one to rap on.
Yeah.
Had some really cool. That was a big transformation from the arrangement that came in, and it was fun to be able to do that. And I'm glad you guys were so into the like freedom to like really
Please, I
get
feel
dirty
like
in the music.
that's the best way to work. I'm like, just to give people permission. It felt like this whole process we all had permission to just like do whatever and say whatever. There was no pressure, which was just like so freeing.
And no ego. It was like, oh yeah, you didn't like that thing? Delete.
Great.
Yeah, put it back.
And we'll
Doesn't
move
matter.
on. And perfect. Yeah, there was never any tension or anything. It was just we were all just like having a good time, which was so important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Important for artistry and creativity.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
So grateful for your contributions.
Oh, thank you.
To the project.
It was so fun to.
I'm so happy that it exists in the world now, and it's not just you and I texting back and forth for months and months and months.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, me too. I'm glad it's out there and shared. It's a very powerful record.